The ceaseless human endeavor to accumulate material wealth, chasing fleeting desires and external validations, paradoxically often leads not to contentment, but to an ever-deepening chasm of spiritual impoverishment, gnawing anxiety, and profound inner emptiness. For millennia, humanity has been ensnared in this relentless pursuit, constructing gilded cages of comfort that do little more than amplify the silent scream of an unfulfilled soul. We are taught that prosperity is measured by what we acquire, by the weight of our possessions, the expanse of our empires, or the recognition we command from a transient world. Yet, look around you, observe the most successful among us, and you will often find a haunting void behind the manufactured smiles, a desperate scramble to fill a spiritual hunger with ever more fleeting pleasures. This paradox is not a modern affliction, it is an ancient deception, woven into the fabric of Maya, the cosmic illusion that convinces us reality lies outside, rather than within. Paramahansa Yogananda, the great yogi, revealed a timeless truth: authentic abundance is not an external acquisition but an inherent, divine state of being, already resident within the soul. He taught that the very act of chasing material gain with an insatiable hunger is a symptom of spiritual amnesia, a forgetting of our true, boundless inheritance. We are like kings begging for pennies, unaware of the infinite treasury within our own consciousness. This isn't a mere philosophical nicety, it is the fundamental error upon which much of human suffering is built. The world screams for more, 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 promising peace at the end of a never-ending race. But the finish line always recedes, leaving you breathless, exhausted, and bewildered by the persistent echo of emptiness. Your soul, however, whispers a different narrative. It yearns for a richness that cannot be bought, sold, or stolen. It cries out for the profound peace that transcends circumstance, the unshakable joy that flows from an intimate connection with the divine, the boundless love that sees all beings as reflections of itself. This is the true abundance Yogananda spoke of, a spiritual wealth so vast that it dwarfs any earthly fortune, a treasure impervious to the whims of the market or the ravages of time. It is the awareness of your eternal self, an awakening to the fact that you are not merely a transient body or a restless mind, but an immortal spark of the infinite, possessing all the qualities of the divine. But to access this treasure, you must first confront the deep-seated programs, the karmic patterns, and the societal conditioning that have convinced you of scarcity. You must acknowledge the pain of striving, the weariness of superficial success, and the quiet desperation of an unquenched spiritual thirst. This pain is not a flaw, it is the alarm bell of your soul, signaling that the current path leads to desolation, not fulfillment. It is a divine signal, often misinterpreted as a sign of weakness or failure, but which in truth is the first lucid flicker of genuine awakening. Your current anguishes, your constant anxiety about what you lack, your fear of not having enough, these are not random torments. They are precisely the symptoms of your soul trying to break free from the illusion that abundance is external and finite. This journey is not for the faint of heart, nor for those seeking quick fixes or superficial remedies. It is a profound, introspective expedition into the deepest chambers of your being, a radical reorientation of your entire perception of reality. It requires courage to dismantle the false altars you have built to material idols and unwavering discipline to cultivate the inner garden of your soul. We are not here to offer comforting platitudes, but to provide a precise surgical map to excise the root cause of your spiritual poverty. This path demands your full presence, your unwavering commitment, and a willingness to transcend the very desires that have held you captive. So, if you are truly exhausted by the endless chase, if you sense a deeper truth calling to you from beyond the clamor of the world, if your soul is tired of playing small in a universe of infinite possibilities, then prepare yourself. This is not just a video, it is a manifesto, a direct challenge to the very illusion that binds you. This is a call to war against the slumber of the soul, a summons to reclaim your divine inheritance. Tell me, in one single word, what emotional burden has the pursuit of external abundance laid upon your soul, that you now crave to cast off forever? Type it below, let your testimony be heard. But if this truth is so self-evident, why do countless souls relentlessly pursue the very path that guarantees their spiritual destitution, and what ancient, profound betrayal led humanity to forget its birthright of boundless, inner wealth? The profound betrayal that has led humanity to forget its birthright of boundless inner wealth is intricately woven into the very fabric of our existence, a narrative that begins not in this lifetime, but echoes through countless incarnations. You see, the pervasive emptiness you might feel, despite your best efforts to gather, achieve, or possess, is not a flaw in your striving, it is a direct consequence of an ancient, crucial moment, a moment in the soul's journey where it first succumbed to the alluring illusion of scarcity. Imagine, if you will, a distant, forgotten past, perhaps even the dawn of your individual consciousness, where a singular decision was made, a vote cast, or a trauma experience that severed your conscious connection to the cosmic abundance. This wasn't a malicious act, but rather a gradual descent into identification with the finite, the tangible, the transient. Your soul, in its infinite wisdom, chose to experience separation, to play the cosmic game of hide-and-seek, temporarily forgetting its divine origin. This initial forgetting laid the karmic blueprint for the relentless pursuit of external validation and material accumulation that so many experience today. What you didn't realize then, and what your ego has skillfully denied ever since, is that this thirst for more is a karmic echo. It's not a true need, but a habitual pattern ingrained across lifetimes, where the soul sought completeness in the external world. Each time you found temporary satisfaction in a new possession, a fleeting achievement, or the approval of others, you inadvertently reinforced the illusion. This created deeper grooves in your consciousness, compelling you to repeat the cycle, a constant striving, a momentary gratification, followed by an inevitable return to the void. This cycle is the very essence of the inimigo_comum, the illusion of Maya itself, skillfully orchestrated by the cosmic play of duality, designed to test and ultimately awaken the soul. Maya, the grand enchantress, presents the world as utterly real, utterly separate, and utterly capable of delivering lasting happiness, even as it constantly withdraws its promises. This isn't about blaming a past self or a cosmic force, it's about understanding the deep-seated programs that continue to run in the background of your current existence. The anxiety that gnaws at you when finances are tight, the desperation you feel when a project fails, the emptiness that lingers even after a major success, these are not random emotional disturbances. They are direct reverberations of that initial choice, that forgotten vow to seek satisfaction where it cannot ultimately be found. Your soul suspected this truth, whispered it in moments of quiet contemplation, but your ego, firmly entrenched in the material realm, consistently overruled it with the urgent demands of what if and if only. It created a narrative of not enough, a narrative that fuels a profound door_occult_abordata, the pervasive feeling of inadequacy despite external achievements, the quiet desperation born from an unfulfilled spiritual hunger, and the exhaustion of relentlessly pursuing fleeting material desires, only to find an ever-deepening void within. You find yourself trapped in a reactive existence, constantly responding to the external world, convinced that your happiness depends on its fluctuating tides. This reactive state is a direct byproduct of that ancestral spiritual amnesia. You feel at the mercy of events, circumstances, and the actions of others, because your consciousness has forgotten its sovereign power to draw directly from the cosmic source. Every time you chase a new job, a larger house, a more impressive title, you are unwittingly playing out this karmic script, reinforcing the belief that your worth and well-being are contingent upon external factors. And the universe, in its perfect mirroring, continues to present you with scenarios that validate this belief, keeping you tethered to the very cycle you subconsciously crave to escape. The spiritual masters, especially Paramahansa Yogananda, understood this profound dynamic. They taught that true liberation begins with identifying these karmic patterns, not to condemn them, but to transcend them. They understood that the world, with all its dazzling promises and crushing disappointments, is nothing more than a training ground, a meticulously designed curriculum for the soul's awakening. The suffering you experience, the endless dissatisfaction, the nagging sense that something is deeply wrong, is not a sign of failure. It is, in fact, the precise mechanism through which the soul begins to remember its true nature. It is the friction that polishes the diamond, the pressure that transforms coal into gem. This disquiet is your divine alarm clock, telling you that the illusion of Maya is losing its grip, that your soul is stirring from its long slumber, yearning to reclaim its inherent gatilho_emotional_primario, spiritual empowerment and mystical curiosity for true abundance. To truly understand this, you must look beyond the surface, beyond the immediate circumstances, and into the deep currents of consciousness. The root of your anxiety, your feeling of lack, is not a financial deficit or a relationship problem. It is a deficit of awareness, a disconnection from the infinite reservoir of spirit within. It is the soul's cry for its true home, a home that is not a place, but a state of being. And the first step toward reclaiming that home, toward dissolving the karmic patterns of scarcity, is to acknowledge that the battle is not outside, but entirely within. Understanding the origin of this spiritual amnesia, this fundamental misperception, is merely the map of the battlefield. The real struggle is yet to begin, and it will be fought against the most formidable inimigo_comum you have ever faced, your own ingrained mechanisms of defense, your deep-seated resistance to embracing a truth that contradicts everything you've been taught to believe about abundance. Are you prepared to face the internal sabotage that guards the prison of material desire? The true journey toward abundance is not a peaceful stroll through an enchanted garden, but a fierce internal war against the inimigo_comum, the ego's insatiable craving, that pervasive illusion of scarcity that whispers constant doubts and fears. It's an ascent, yes, but a funneled one, where each test becomes progressively more challenging, and the emotional cost of clinging to the old paradigms of external acquisition steadily escalates. You might have believed that spiritual growth would bring an immediate wave of calm, a gentle easing into serenity. But Paramahansa Yogananda warned that the path to true self-realization, to unlocking the soul's inherent richness, demands a relentless battle against the very forces that have kept you bound. The peace you crave will not be handed to you, it must be forged in the crucible of self-conquest. This internal conflict begins subtly, manifesting as external friction. As you attempt to shift your focus from material gain to inner wealth, you might encounter resistance from your environment. Others, still caught in the illusion, may question your newfound purpose, mock your aspirations, or even subtly sabotage your efforts to detach from worldly desires. These external obstacles are not random, they are divine tests, designed to expose the strength of your commitment. Are you truly willing to trade the fleeting comforts of societal acceptance for the profound, unshakable peace of spiritual sovereignty? Or will you recoil at the first sign of friction, retreating to the familiar, albeit unfulfilling, patterns of the past? This is the first skirmish in the war for your soul's abundance. But the true battle, the one that truly tests your mettle, is waged within. As you delve deeper, the inimigo_comum, the ego, unleashes its most potent weapons, doubt, fear, and deeply ingrained patterns of attachment. You will begin to question everything. Am I truly capable of living without the constant validation of material success? Is this inner path truly sustainable in a world that demands practical outcomes? What if I let go of my relentless striving, only to be left with nothing? These are the insidious whispers of an ego terrified of its own demise, desperate to maintain its illusion of control and its identification with the temporary. This is not just intellectual doubt, it is an emotional earthquake, shaking the very foundations of your perceived reality. The anxiety you thought you were escaping will likely intensify for a time, a direct consequence of the ego's death throes. Yogananda taught that true abundance is not the absence of desire, but the mastery of desire. It is the conscious choice to align your will with the divine will, to pursue your spiritual dharma with unwavering focus, regardless of external outcomes. This requires a shift from passive reaction to sovereign action. You are no longer merely responding to the world, you are consciously shaping your inner landscape, choosing what seeds to cultivate, what thoughts to nourish, what attachments to sever. This is where the tension truly grows. The more you attempt to cultivate inner peace, the more aggressively your mind may rebel, dredging up old grievances, fueling anxieties about the future, and tempting you back into the comfort zone of ceaseless material pursuit. The silence you seek in meditation will often initially reveal a torrent of mental noise, a cacophony of fear and longing. This is the ego's last stand, a desperate attempt to drown out the burgeoning awareness of your soul's limitless wealth. The ultimate paradox in this internal war is the concept of surrender. The ego, in its pursuit of control, believes that abundance is something it must grasp, conquer, and hoard. But the soul understands that true abundance flows freely when the ego's grip is relaxed. Surrender is not capitulation, it is an act of supreme courage, a conscious choice to release the illusion of control and trust in the infinite wisdom and boundless generosity of the divine. Yet, for an ego trained over countless lifetimes to fear scarcity and demand certainty, this act of letting go is terrifying. It feels like stepping off a cliff into an unknown abyss. This is why the journey becomes a funneled path. Only those with unwavering faith and relentless discipline can navigate this crucial passage. Each step deeper into spiritual practice, each conscious choice to prioritize inner peace over external gain, each act of self-observation that exposes the ego's lies, is a mini cliffhanger. Will you succumb to the old fears and retreat? Will you find the courage to lean into the discomfort, knowing that on the other side lies the unimaginable richness of your true self? The journey demands that you embrace the discomfort, for it is the fire that purifies. It requires you to observe the ego's machinations without becoming enslaved by them, to recognize the door_occult_abordata of scarcity and the pervasive feeling of inadequacy as a spiritual illusion. Your heart will be tested, your resolve questioned, and your patience strained. But Yogananda assures us that this intense internal pressure is precisely what refines the soul, preparing it to hold the boundless energy of cosmic consciousness. Are you willing to face the relentless onslaught of your own inner resistance, to witness the unraveling of your cherished illusions, knowing that the greatest battles are fought not with swords, but with an unwavering will to remember who you truly are? The climax of this internal war, the profound ceremony of the ego's death and the soul's radiant rebirth into true abundance, is not an event you force, but an experience that unfolds within you. As Paramahansa Yogananda taught, it is the moment when you, the identity entangled in the illusion of scarcity and external desire, becomes a mere witness to the blossoming of your inherent, limitless spiritual wealth. This isn't about acquiring new knowledge, but about shedding the layers of ignorance that have obscured a truth always present. It's the profound realization that inimigo_comum, the ego's insatiable craving and the illusion of external scarcity, was never truly real, merely a shadow play projected by an unawakened consciousness. This transformation manifests as a profound shift from perpetually striving to effortlessly receiving, from anxiously clinging to gracefully flowing. The door_occult_abordada of the pervasive feeling of inadequacy dissolves as you become aware of yourself as an inseparable part of the boundless cosmic consciousness. This consciousness is the ultimate source of all abundance, a treasury that can never be depleted. When you move from "you do" to "it happens in you," you open yourself to a current of divine energy that was always there, waiting for your recognition. Your intuition sharpens, your compassion deepens, and an inexplicable, profound joy begins to permeate your every breath. The practical yogic methods for accelerating this profound shift go beyond mere intellectual assent. They are technologies of the soul designed to retune your inner instrument to the divine symphony of abundance. One such foundational practice, central to Yogananda's teachings, is the profound engagement with cosmic prayer. This is not the pleading of a beggar, it is the powerful, scientific invocation of a child claiming its divine inheritance. Through focused, heartfelt prayer, you attune your individual consciousness, your Atman, to the universal consciousness, Brahman. You are not asking for something outside yourself, you are harmonizing with the omnipresent energy that is already within and around you, causing its inherent abundance to manifest in your reality. Another transformative principle, often understated, is karma yoga, the path of selfless action. When you act not for the fruits of your labor, not for recognition or personal gain, but as an offering to the divine, you begin to dissolve the very karmic patterns that created the illusion of scarcity. Each selfless act, each moment of giving without expectation, each duty performed with devotion and detachment, loosens the ego's grip on attachment. This isn't about poverty, it's about spiritual sovereignty. By freeing your actions from the chains of desire, you liberate your energy, allowing it to flow back to its divine source, which then naturally replenishes you with a far deeper, more fulfilling abundance, inner peace, unwavering joy, and perfect alignment with your Dharma. This practice directly dismantles the inimigo_comum by starving the ego of its self-serving fuel. Imagine yourself as a vessel, previously clogged with the debris of worldly desires and attachments, leaking precious energy in the endless chase for external validation. Through these practices, cosmic prayer, selfless action, deep meditation, you begin to purify that vessel. The blockages dissolve, the leaks are sealed, and your being becomes a pristine conduit for the infinite Gatilho_emotional_primario of spiritual empowerment and mystical curiosity. You are no longer trying to fill a hole, you are realizing that the hole was an illusion, and you are already full. This is the moment of catharsis, where the old identity, the I that felt incomplete and lacking, is symbolically annihilated, not by force, but by the sheer, overwhelming light of an expanded consciousness. This process culminates in a vivid manifestation of a lucid reality, where your well-being becomes truly limitless. The consistent practice of these principles leads to a spiritual reality that is clear, intentional, and deeply resonant. You don't need external events to dictate your mood or validate your worth. The world outside may continue its dance of impermanence, but you stand as the witness serena, observing the drama without being consumed by it. The benefits are tangible, a profound sense of inner peace that no external crisis can disturb, an intuition so acute it guides you unerringly, a boundless compassion that connects you to all life, and a deep, abiding joy that is your natural state. For those seeking simple, daily practices beyond structured meditation to connect with this spiritual current, consider these. Each morning, before you fully engage with the day, pause and offer your intentions, your fears, and your deepest desires to the cosmic consciousness, not as a demand, but as a hopeful communion. Throughout the day, practice seeing the divine in everything, a concept inspired by Krishna's teachings to Arjuna. In every person you meet, every task you perform, every challenge you face, consciously seek the underlying divine presence. This transforms mundane moments into sacred opportunities, subtly shifting your perception from separation to unity, from scarcity to omnipresent abundance. This is how the treasure within your body, the sanctuary of your soul, is activated, releasing infinite Rayquaza and inner Tesoro. In this moment of profound self-realization, the question is no longer, how can I get more, but, how can I give more of the abundance I already am? Your perspective irrevocably shifts. You recognize that the true Tesoro is not money, but the energy of the Alma. To truly unlock this, to elevate your Alma and multiply your Rayquaza, you must embrace this ultimate truth. And now, I ask you directly, what deeply held belief about scarcity, about your own inadequacy, are you finally willing to surrender, right here, right now, to claim the boundless spiritual abundance that is your birthright? Tell me, in a single, unvarnished sentence, what lie about your own worthiness will you shatter today? The profound experience of the ego's dissolution and the soul's rebirth into authentic abundance, cultivated through consistent yogic practices, translates into tangible, transformative shifts in your daily life. This isn't about abstract mysticism, it's about a fundamental re-engineering of your consciousness that manifests as a richer, more fulfilling existence. The inimigo_comum, the illusion of scarcity and the pervasive egoic craving, no longer hold sway over your inner landscape. Instead, you operate from a place of deep peace and unwavering certainty, knowing that your true Tesoro lies within. Modern scientific understanding is finally beginning to catch up with what spiritual masters like Paramahansa Yogananda have taught for millennia. Consciousness is not merely a byproduct of the brain, but a fundamental aspect of reality. The emerging fields of quantum physics and neuroscience are providing intriguing insights into how our consciousness impacts our energetic systems, our physical bodies, and our perceived reality. This isn't simply woo-woo spirituality, it's a profound paradigm shift in understanding human potential, validating the yogic truth that our inner state directly influences our external experience. When your consciousness is attuned to the cosmic abundance, your energetic field vibrates at a higher frequency, naturally attracting and manifesting circumstances aligned with that inner richness. This is not the superficial law of attraction, it is the scientific principle of spiritual resonance, where like attracts like at the deepest energetic levels. Integrating these profound spiritual truths into your daily routine becomes the cornerstone of consistent, high-vibration energy. It begins by cultivating a continuous awareness of your divine nature, not just during meditation, but in every interaction, every task, every quiet moment. You learn to observe your thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them, recognizing them as transient phenomena on the screen of your eternal consciousness. This practice of Atman, the individual self, identifying with Brahman, the Absolute, leads to an unshakable inner peace. You discover that stillness is not the absence of noise, but the presence of an unwavering center within. The effect of this abundant energy is a beautiful cascade, transforming every facet of your life. Your relationships deepen, no longer plagued by codependency or superficial expectations, but rooted in unconditional love and mutual respect. You recognize the divine spark in others, fostering genuine connection and compassion. Your creativity flourishes, flowing effortlessly from an unburdened consciousness, unhindered by fear of failure or desire for external validation. Ideas and solutions emerge with clarity and brilliance, as your mind becomes a clearer channel for divine inspiration. Your overall well-being transcends mere physical health, it becomes a holistic state of vibrant vitality, an energetic field that radiates peace and joy. The door_occult_abordata of feeling inadequate or constantly striving melts away, replaced by the profound realization that you are eternally complete. You reclaim mastery over your emotions, not by suppressing them, but by understanding their transient nature and observing them from the vantage point of your eternal Alma. The anxieties that once crippled you lose their power, transformed into gentle nudges for introspection or reminders to recenter in your spiritual tesoro. Your life becomes a testament to the fact that true Rayquaza is an inner state, not an external accumulation. You no longer fear loss, for you understand that what is truly yours, your consciousness, your connection to the divine, your inherent peace, can never be taken away. This journey empowers you to actively participate in your own path toward limitless well-being, starting today. It liberates you from the tyranny of external circumstances and anchors you in the unshakable reality of your divine essence. The purpose of this awakening is not merely personal salvation, but to become a beacon of light for others, a living example of the abundance that manifests beyond material desires. You embody the teachings of Yogananda, showing that true freedom comes from within, by consciously aligning with the cosmic will and realizing your inherent oneness with all creation. The old anxiety, the constant pressure to perform and possess, now seems like a distant, confused dream, replaced by the serene clarity of a soul awake to its own boundless Rayquaza. You are not just finding peace, you are becoming peace. The journey toward manifesting a lucid reality of limitless well-being, guided by the profound wisdom of Paramahansa Yogananda, unveils a truth far grander than mere personal prosperity. This awakening, this blossoming of the soul's inherent abundance, is not a final destination, but a magnificent portal to an ever-expanding consciousness. The consistent practice of cosmic prayer, selfless action, and deep meditation cultivates a spiritual reality that is not only clearer and more intentional for you but generates a ripple effect across the fabric of existence. The benefits are deeply personal, an acutely refined intuition, an unfathomable depth of compassion, and a profound, abiding joy, yet their implications stretch far beyond the individual. But what if I told you that this profound liberation, this rediscovery of limitless energy and inner wealth, was never solely for you? What if the true purpose of your spiritual awakening was not just to transcend your own door_occult_abordada of inadequacy and the inimigo_comum of scarcity, but to become an instrument of universal transformation? The spiritual journey is not a solitary ascent, it is a collective evolution, and your personal awakening is an integral part of this grand cosmic design. As you embody this higher state of consciousness, radiating unwavering peace and boundless love, you unconsciously elevate the energetic vibration of the world around you. Your presence becomes a silent sermon, a living testament to the possibility of a life lived in harmony with the divine. You become a conduit for Gatilho_emotional_primario, spiritual empowerment and mystical curiosity, for those who cross your path, inspiring them, perhaps subtly, perhaps profoundly, to embark on their own journey of self-discovery. This is the referential_base of Yogananda's vision, individual awakening serving the greater good, a conscious evolution of humanity toward its divine destiny. Your invitation, then, is to explore this profound spiritual journey, not just for the unparalleled personal experience of limitless energy and inner abundance, but for the inherent responsibility that accompanies such an awakening. It is a call to actively participate in your own evolution, yes, but also to recognize your role as a vital contributor to the collective awakening. The tesoro you uncover within is not meant to be hoarded, it is meant to be shared, to illuminate the path for others still wandering in the illusion of scarcity. What profound new form of universal service, what deeper layer of cosmic responsibility, awaits the soul that has truly awakened to its boundless, divine abundance, and what will you do when you realize the true measure of your wealth is the light you can share with a world still shrouded in the shadows of forgetting? The journey towards unlocking your true, limitless abundance is not a passive contemplation, it is a profound declaration of spiritual sovereignty. You've witnessed the illusion of external wealth, felt the void it leaves behind, and now, your soul yearns for the boundless richness Paramahansa Yogananda revealed. You are not a casual observer, you are a seeker, a warrior of consciousness ready to reclaim your divine inheritance. To truly embody this transformation, to translate this newfound understanding into a lived reality, you must take the next deliberate step. This isn't merely about subscribing to a channel or liking a video, it's about committing to a path, joining a lineage of souls dedicated to shattering the illusion of inimigo_comum, the ego's insatiable craving, and embracing their inherent spiritual tesoro. If your soul resonates with this urgent call for authentic abundance, if you are done chasing shadows and ready to embrace the substance of eternal peace and joy, then know this: you are part of a growing collective, a sanctuary of awakened spirits. Your next logical step is clear: join our community by subscribing to this channel now. Activate the notification bell so you don't miss any future transmissions from A Voz do Despota Inevitable. Each video is a new chapter in your liberation, a direct guide to dissolve the door_occult_abordada of spiritual inadequacy and step into your full power. Moreover, if you are ready to truly integrate these principles, to move beyond intellectual understanding to experiential mastery, then explore the curated resources linked in the description below. These tools, inspired by Yogananda's timeless teachings, are designed to deepen your practice of cosmic prayer, selfless action, and meditation, accelerating your journey towards limitless well-being. This is not a suggestion, it is a command from your awakened Alma. Embrace this path. Become the living testament to the truth that riqueza is not found in accumulation, but in realization. Your profound gatilho_emotional_primario, spiritual empowerment and mystical curiosity, demands this commitment. Take action now, and forever transform your perception of abundance.